All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? A couple of interesting things came out of the Spotlight series in London this past week, and one of those is what might be a new, interesting, and maybe annoying evolution in the Izzet decks. So yeah, this plays a couple of cards you don't normally see in these lists, but we are starting with Boomerang Basics because, well, this is just a good card and already does all the things these decks like. Elusive Otter, of course, we're used to seeing this. Some Opt as well to be able to draw cards. Secret Identity to sneak some damage through or to protect one of our creatures because there's only really, I think, 15 actual creatures and then the 4 enchantments, the Storm Chaser's talent. So this could be a pretty key card. Some sleight of hand again to dig and find the right card that you want. Storm Chaser's talent to make you those little bitty otters. And then we have Ancestral Anger. This is when you don't see that much. Target creature gains trample and gets plus X plus 0, where X is 1 plus the number of cards named Ancestral Anger in your graveyard. So obviously you'd like to fire off a lot of these. It does give something trample though, which is pretty important. Turn Inside Out, we've seen this quite a bit. This is plus 3 plus 0, and then if the creature dies, you get to manifest something. Wild Ride, giving something haste, is very good. And then Drake Hatcher. So while we're playing all these, maybe we can get some counters on the Drake, on the Hatcher, I should say, and then turn those into Drakes. This version does play Callous Sellsword, though, so that you can fling things and maybe finish your opponent off in one big turn. Of course, there's still Slick Shot Show Off, and it does play a copy of Balmor, Battle Mage Captain, which is what really caught my eye because I've always wondered why this card isn't in these lists, and here's somebody actually playing one of them. Now, before we get into the games, y'all know the drill. Check out our friends over at Tales of Adventure if you want to buy any decks or cards or bling out something or new packs. But know that you can get 5% off there on their website if you just use my code DRAGON, which is DRAGN at checkout. So go save yourself some money and support the channel. But yeah, that aside, let's go find out if this deck was just good in best of 3 for a big tournament, or if it actually does hold up on the arena ladder. Okay, sure. Yeah, why not? Seems more than reasonable. Yeah, this event this deck was played in was quite big. It was 600 people. So lots of folks turned out to play. Let's go ahead and juice this up. All right. And Alexander McIsaac, I believe, is the player's name as well, finishing 6th out of 600 people. All right, here comes some elemental action. Drawing cards and discarding. I was about to say, if we could have got one good pump card, man, we could have just been off to the races. All right, opponent goes to 11. If we can get one good pump spell, one big attack and a fling should end the game. But let's see what they got. Because they already got the bringer in there. So any reanimation spell is good for them. And sadly, we found a land. Oh, we fling something that doesn't do enough of anything. All right, well, just do what we can, I suppose. I mean, we'll attack, but I don't expect much to come out of this. I guess had we played this, that would have been 2. So it would have been 3 more. We could have done 4, 5, 6. Yeah, still wouldn't have killed them. And we'd been -1 from that attack. So they would have been at 2 anyway. But maybe they don't have the Reanimator spell that they need. They don't have good old Calvaro. Oh, nope, there it is. We can queue up the GGs then, I would assume. Oh, they don't have it. All right, well, that works. I mean, either of these is good if they don't have another removal spell. All right. Well, we kind of got a little lucky. Don't think we so much deserve this, but hey, why not? Target creature you control. There we go. Oh, I guess I could have flinged something else, but this is more damage after the triggers go off. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, all right. So that was a weird game. We didn't draw very many spells, and they missed their Reanimator card. Okay, sure. This feels like a couple of turns of setup early, but not bad. It's always interesting when you see the black decks to try to figure out what type of removal are they playing. Because I'm pretty sure there's no way you let me keep a Drakecatcher, right? Oh, Duress is actually really strong against this deck. They took the Wild Ride. Okay. Well, Wild Ride is a card we can at least reuse. Question is, how do we get the most out of this? We can Slick Shot, turn inside out on the Hatcher. Yeah, let's do that. And then attacks these. And then we'll remove some of these to make a Drake. Alright. Oh, we don't do that as a sorcery? Ah, I haven't played this card in so long. Usually abilities like that are like, must be played as a sorcery. That one was not the case. Let's go Elusive Otter. Pump up some things. Don't need that. Oh, cute. Convenient. That works. That should get it done. Yep. Oh, no. This is a bad hand. You're supposed to mulligan these, I'm pretty sure. But let's see if we get lucky. Because with no spells to play, this doesn't really do anything. Especially when the opponent's playing black. That's not good. But let's see what happens. Nope. They were like, no Hatcher for you, friend. Okay, well, we may just be on the boring Boomerang Basics plan. That is ever so popular. But let's see what happens here. Oh, Furtic Core. Alright. Let's... What I feel like there's just like a deadly cover-up coming. I think even if we believe it, we still got to do it, right? Though I could have bounced a Furtic Core, I guess. Right? Yeah, that was always possible. Can we do enough here? Let's see. I don't think we can. Ooh, a turn inside out, though. Maybe. So that's 11. We can make it 12, 13. Or we could do 11, fling for 7, 8. Yeah, that'll do it. Wow. Wasn't even thinking about all that. I'll remove counters just in case. Because you never know. Maybe? Okay, cool. Looks like they don't have a response. All right. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to keep this, but we're going to pass. Mostly because if they had a removal, we didn't want to just get nothing for our troubles. Uh, we could Wild Ride here. I think it's worth it. They're not going to block with their Llanowar Elf. Because they can't. Ha ha ha. All right, Chocobo. Okay, fair. Let's go with Sleight of Hand first. I'll take a Slick Shot show off. If we go double Inside Out, is that worth it? Or it's probably better just a Slick Shot show off here. I think. This can be blocked by creature with power less than this. All right, so we'll just attack for the 2 in the air. I think that makes more sense. All right, and then we might be able to just finish everything next turn. Especially if we get the right draw. Yep. You got it. I mean, block or don't. Your call. All right. Risking death next turn. But, you know, love of the game. Let's go. Unfortunately, it was just a land. That does not help our cause at all. So... turn Inside Out. I was just thinking if I do this again on the Slick Shot, that's 8 plus another 3 is 11. And then we can just Wild Ride. Because this goes up to 3. Wild Ride needs... oh, it's not enough. Oh, we can still play an untapped land. So, yeah. All right, either way, I think we're still punching through. It doesn't matter. I'm overthinking it. You can put the counters on the Otter. It's all the same. Yeah, and then just Wild Ride, tap the Otter, target this. There you go. Didn't really matter either way we did it. Unless we draw well off the top, this feels like a pretty slow draw for this deck. Well, we shall see. All right, well, against the red deck, I think we can at least Sleight of Hand. Ooh. All right, we'll take a show off. I feel like whatever we do, we're probably trying to do it all in one big turn. All right. Let's go ahead and put us a Slick Shot show off over there. Oh, is it mono red Gobos? We need an untapped land, preferably a non-damage one. That doesn't help. I was hoping we could get Drake with haste and do some stuff with the Slick Shot, but that's not really going to do it. All right, well, we figured this was going to be a potentially bad draw, and here we are. Yep. Ball lightning, gotta love it. I mean, they could fling a ball lightning and we'd die too. Yep. Oh, and we got a Steam Vents. Okay, well, how many spells do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 that we could play, and the boomerang. So each one's 4, so that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wee bit short. Wee bit short. But, oh well. I think we sleight of hand, try to find a red... Oh no, actually we do have Secret Identity. Base power and toughness +3. So that's another couple of points. Alright, let's sleight of hand first. Okay. Ooh, if we take the land... Hold on. I only have 2 more active spells. That doesn't do anything. Alright. Then we Wild Ride. Then we attack. Then we fling. These decks are so silly. Yeah, yeah. This is interesting. That last game felt like we should have just lost our rear end, so this is a little bit surprising that we won that one. But, I mean, I guess this deck can do that. Just pop off for no good reason. Interesting. I was going to say, like, why wait till our turn? Like, if you're going to do that, wait till I spin cards on it, right? Like, that just feels weird to waste the spell there. Like, it feels like, as a strategy, either do it on your turn or wait until I go to play something on it, you know? I am going to sleight of hand to try and dig for a protective spell. Alright, I guess I'll take another one of those. Pass the turn. I was hoping to find one of the secret identities or whatever, because then you'd at least have a shot of protecting a slick shot show off on the turn we try to go off. Because we're going to have to do this all at once. And it looks like they're playing control piles. There's a good chance there's like erodes and get lost and all that good stuff. Alright, pass the turn. I will admit, though, I am not going to be sad to see a card like Slick Shot Show Off go away. It's just way too much for the mana. It provides a lot. Alright, opponent. What are you trying to do? We'll at least do the silly shenanigans while we're waiting. See if we can get us a card. You know what? I don't hate that. And just kind of leave it to you what you want to do with this information. Interesting. I thought they would take 1 to block 3, but nope. I think they're just making a fish. Maybe sacrifice it later. But that's fine. Alright, there's an Johnny. Make another 1/1.
You will not hurt my wards.
Okay. Yeah, I think here, I think we're just going for it, right? I mean, can't think of a good reason not to. Yeah, an opponent just says that's it. All right. Yeah, we'll keep this. Let's go with an honor. Intriguing. I'm going to attack. Oh, you don't have anything. Great. There's some green mana. And a Badger Mole. Not a super surprise. And another Badger Mole. Alright. I mean, we could just get overrun next turn. That is a realistic possibility. I will play an Otter in a feeble attempt to not die. I mean, 'cause that's enough to Crater Hoof if you got it. Okay, it's not a Crater Hoof, so that's the best news. It's a lot of mana, though, next turn. Yeah, we're not blocking, obviously. And we got left with enough life to play this on blue. So let's go with, I guess, opt first. See if we can find another spell. That's as good as anything. Not quite as good as anything, but close. And then taxis. Like Bridget can block. They just let it all through. All right, cool. Then we'll just fling it. All right, nice to beat double Badger Mole, I guess. Yes, we're keeping this. All right, that's not bad. Into... Oh, so they're just doing Reanimator stuff. All right, well, they got the play and they hit their cards. And they didn't pick anything up. So that's probably the worst news we could have seen. Oh boy, what are we doing? Trying to think, is there a way I could get 20 damage in 2 turns? If we attack for 2, they're at 18. Then I could get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we'd be short. I think we still have to go for it, though. And just kind of hope for the best. The fact they didn't pick up the Formidable Speaker tells us they already have what they need. Is kind of the problem. So we either need to get them super low or somehow be able to fling enough to beat them. So let's go ahead and dig. Another plus. Oh, there it is. Wow. I don't know if that's going to get us there, but it's going to be damn close. So that's 11. Oh, but they gained 2 life. Golly. Oh, well, we'll have just enough. Wow. Outraced the Reanimator deck. Even with them gaining those extra 2 points. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, this is solid. All right, let's go ahead and play this Otter. Makes sense. Elusive Otter dead. Sort of expected that. Sneak. Oftentimes when we see that, it's being played because it's another demon. So we can get this to 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then fling for 11? Is that right? Sorry, opponent. I'm trying to do some quick math. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to just do it. I think this is right. And then attack. And then fling. Yeah, Xaxes. Man, that's dumb. No creature. Well, technically, but Sellsword's really a spell in here more than a creature. So let's mulligan. All right, this will be one that'll take a minute. So let's keep this. Oof, this only makes red, though. All right, so let's play this on blue first. Play Storm Chaser's Talent. Oh, actually, no, I kind of did that backwards. Because if I did Otter first, I could have got another point playing the Talent next turn. Well, now it doesn't matter. All of that thought is irrelevant. Sure. Go attacking. All right. And a seam rip. Sure. You got it. Wow. Okay. This is not what we needed. If there were an example, this is exactly what we didn't need. Now, if for some reason we get a clear path and were to get one of our cell swords, we could still win next turn because we could just pump, fling. I don't know how likely that is. Probably not, all things considered. Especially if we're just going to draw lands. That's not very helpful. Well, they don't seem to want to counter. I'm sure they have a counter. We're just going to take what we can get here. Playing a little bit of a game of chicken. Like, they're trying to see if we want to commit. They're trying to see if we're going to fling, you know, a little bit of gamesmanship going on here. I mean, the crazy part is we've had a really bad draw, and they've had the right situation to counteract what we're doing, and we're kind of right on the cusp of still being able to do a thing. All right, Slick Shot Show Off isn't helpful, obviously. So let's attack. Okay, here's going to be a little trickery. I think we're going to play Slick Shot Show Off. But just to draw out the Wrath. Because, like, I'm sure you have a board sweeper, right? You're playing a control pile. We will try to get something good off this Manifest Dread and then go from there. But I assume this is where we see the sweeper. Because you're not just going to let us keep both these creatures, unless they have spot removal cards in hand. Oh. Okay. Cool. Oh, and you had other Seamer. Well, never mind. We weren't going to win this one anyway. We only got our second threat on turn 5, so we're in pretty bad shape. what if we Ancestral Anger? Okay, that's a thing. They're probably going to double block. But, like, what if they don't? I mean, I would. Because there's not much reason not to. And I think we just won. Because they didn't double block. Alright, cool. We'll take it. Hey, we drew Balmor finally. Alright, let's keep it. Balmor's exciting. Don't know if we're going to get to do a damn thing with it, but it's cool that we have it. I was just beginning to think, like, we're not even going to see Balmor this whole video, are we? You know, I'm thinking, unless the green deck has the fight spells, I don't know if you ever lose to them with this type of build. I mean, yeah, I'll block. Alright, so we have Anger, Anger. Or do we Anger Inside Out? Alright, an opponent's just scooping. Darn it. We were about to do so much damage. Even with just the angers, because each one of these is additional +2s. That would have been a couple. That would have been a couple. Then this is plus whatever. And then we have these for the next turn, and we could fling. Yeah, I think you almost, unless you just have a bad draw, or they have the stone nuts, I think you're probably going to beat the mono green decks. Which is why I think this deck was probably played in that tournament. Because if you expected a lot of landfall stuff, this is not a bad choice. Sure. We can rock with this. Let's go Otter first. Does the Otter live? Is the question. Looks like the answer for now is yes. How long that answer stays yes, who knows? Let's go with blue, just based on our hand. We'll go Storm Chaser's Talent. And as much as I'd want to take more damage, Secret Identity could be good too. I think I'm just going to opt. If we can just find better, more spells or a land, I mean, that's probably fine. All right. Seam Rip. There goes the Otter. Which is the main reason I almost kept the Secret Identity up. We could have potentially protected something. Granted, I was thinking more from like a burn spell, not from Seam Rip, but same thing. Let's play another Storm Chaser's Talent. And let's Wild Ride the new one since it gains haste. And then we'll attack. And then end the turn. Voice of Victory, you got it. And there was another Seam Rip. Can we not? Wait. Wait, this doesn't give hexproof? Until the turn target curves. Until the turn target Juno becomes a hero based over flying. Oh, flying and vigilant. Yeah, it does gain hexproof. Why could I not target it? I had a blue mana open, right? Target creature you control becomes a citizen of base. Oh, well, I don't know what just happened, but that was bad for us. So turn this into a 3/4. It gets a +1, so it'd be 4, 5. All right. Well, I should have had another creature to attack with here, but And we didn't find anything to go with. That's tough. All right. Well, we tried. Yep. You got it. All right, no blocks. If I get an untapped non-damage land... Nope, that's not it. I'll say there could have been a way, but that's not it. Because if I could have just replayed the secret identity, that could have worked too. But I think that's all she wrote. All right, well, we lose one. That's tough. Because the best we can do now is just replay the wild. We can't even replay the wild ride, actually, for any value. All right. Yep. And we're dead. Ugh, just a single creature, huh? All right, let's see what happens. Feel like if we're going to play these types of decks, you got to gamble on some weird draws sometimes. And we do have a sleight of hand, and we have an anger. Maybe could find something. So let's sleight first. We will take a Draycatcher. Gonna pump this up. Found another Hatcher. Not particularly what we needed. Maybe I should have taken the land. You know what? We can live with that. Land? Alright, cool. Oh, that would cost 2 now, though. Yeah, alright. We're just going to go Hatcher then. And let's Wild Ride. Go attacking. And then end the turn. Enduring Innocence, sure. Sounds like a plan. River Pyre. What are we looking to do? Play Otter, play Turn Inside Out. Or maybe we're just playing another Draycatcher. And then just... see what you got going on. Oh, opponent, you have to block. Like, come on. I was going to say, like, not blocking doesn't feel like a real option. All right. In the turn. What do we got going on? High Noon. That does keep us from playing more spells. So now we have to make a decision. If we try to Wild Ride. You know what? I'm just going to go here. See what response you have. We'll attack. Sure. And I will go ahead and crack a couple of these. Because we'll get the lands out of the way if they're just sitting on top. Alright, good to know. Oh, I should have played the Spire Bluff Canal. Gosh dang it. Because getting back a Wild Ride could be important. But 5 mana is enough to do that anyway. And I can't Wild Ride and Fling in the same turn, as we know. Okay. So now we're going to play the silly game where they're going to bounce something and whatever. So, knowing that, I say we just attack. And we can wait to just fling whatever and not even have to care. Just whatever's left will get flung, basically. Because that's a 2-3. Yeah, that's fine. Well, Draycatcher would be left. That's all it has to be. Okay. Do. Good stuff. Oh boy, I'm gonna keep this with our opponent going first. This feels rough. Because I don't think we're gonna get to keep this little bitty otter. Oh, surprising. The otter survived. Okay, well, we're gonna do what we can to try to protect the otter, because it's all of our hopes and dreams. Our eggs are in that basket, basically. We're gonna firebending lesson. Alright, let's make it larger. Hey, we found another land. Good deal. But I'd rather have another threat. That would be much more helpful. Would you like to just play a monument here, opponent? That would be much appreciative. I would really like that, if you would be so kind. I was gonna say, if you're gonna kill the otter, just do it now. Yeah, like that's the thing to do, realistically. I gotta take the creature. Much as I would like to do other fun things. Alright. At least for now, we can maybe manifest dread some things. Let's try. If they want to waste another spell, then so be it. We're okay with that. Love it. Right? We're spending all that to get rid of one thing. Sounds good. Don't need that. Come on, creature threat. Nope, that was not it. Also interesting, generally these decks aren't playing 3 steps ahead. They're usually playing it'll quench ya or nothing for the most part. So that's kind of interesting. Am I just trying to get back, like, sleight of hand? Alright. Because all we're doing is digging for something at this stage. They don't currently have a discard outlet, but there are spells that let them discard. No, speaking of, there's a cool but rude. So the question is, are you playing all the typical stuff or just ways to discard the hard way? We'll take a Storm Chaser's talent, obviously. Alright, end the turn. And they are out of instant speed removal for our duder. Okay, that's also good to know. What do you got going here, opponent? They got something they're working on. I don't know what it is. But we're at least poised to have something defensively. So let's try first to just give it hexproof. What else you got? Another monument. Okay, that might be game. Actually, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, for sure. Because we can anger. Or I guess we can anger again, because that's fun. And then we can anger again, because that's even more fun. And that'll do it. Yeah, nice. No creatures opening. We cannot keep that. And this is basically the same hand, but worse. All right. I definitely think you're still supposed to mulligan this, but with some cards to help us dig, we're just gonna do some things here. Let's take this. Come on, let's find a 1-mana duder here. That is not it. Fast turn. We could be in some trouble, folks. The opponent also had a slow draw, though. Dang. All right, there were a lot of lands on top of the library this go round. I'm tempted to just play the Settle Sword and go for it, you know? Sort of where we are right now. All right, I will put this on blue. And pass. We might just be using a starting town to attack with the Cell Sword. I don't know what else we're going to do. It's kind of rough. We're having a hard time out here. Oh, well, things have changed. Never mind. Pass the turn. And Johnny, okay.
Your friendship is what makes you strong.
Seems
Side by
good.
side we fight.
Okay, so I have to ask the real question. Can we do enough damage here, right? Let's say we make the otter 3-4 and flying. So that's a 4 now. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. Yeah, all right. I think this looks good. We will fire off the first volley and see. Actually, let's do this first to see if... Check for responses. Okay, there are none. Then we make this guy flying. And then we Ancestral Anger. Then we attack. And then we fling. All right, that's it. And that rolled us right up to Mythic. So let's talk about this deck for a second. I have to say, I don't know if I remember if I said the player's name or not, but Alexander McIsaac is the player who played this. And this was just as good in best of 1 on the ladder as it performed in the tournament for him in best of 3. Honestly, I might even say that this is probably the best version of this deck to play on the ladder. I did the last 2 legs of Diamond with this into Mythic in about an hour. So, and I think we had 2 losses in there. So we were just ripping through games. And you saw how many of those we just won just off rip with nothing on the battlefield, and in just 1 turn, their opponent was dead. So this is a damn good deck. I don't even know if I would change anything with it, honestly. I think I might have adjusted a couple of numbers from what he had, but mostly this is the same deck that he played. And honestly, yeah, there's no reason to really change much. Like this deck is honestly kind of dumb. If I'm being honest, I recommend you play it, but I hope a lot of people don't play it because it's not fun. Not fun to play against. I mean, this is the type of deck that you have to get rid of everything you see. Like, you can't take a turn off. Like, if you see a thing on the board, get rid of it, right? or unless you're going to gain a bunch of life or play some big defensive situation or whatever. Because literally one creature was all it took to end this game, or in the game in so many situations. This deck is definitely good. And if you're playing some version of this, I would probably just swap to this and then just go for it. Or if you're trying to get those last few wins to get to Mythic. Only thing I would say is Balmor didn't really come into effect. So maybe you want another Drake Hatcher or something, but that's likely the only major change I could consider making. Everything else was strong. And even Balmor's not bad. It's just a one of, so it didn't come up very often. But yeah, we're gonna put this link up over on Moxfield so you can download it. But yeah, if you're wanting to rip your way to Mythic, this is easily one of the best ways to do it. But that's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time.